Clickbaity political. Yeah, ThirstTrap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent Clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Clickbaity, ThirstTrap. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, ThirstTrap.
Yo, what's good?
Man, that song make me want to do cartwheels, bro. Like, I don't know, I feel hype when he be like throwing up them acorns because we rep Clickbaity. I be like, yeah.
At first,
what up, boy? It's your birthday.
It's my birthday, and I'm not lit actually, and that's on purpose because I'm probably going to do something after this right here. But thanks to everybody thanks to Mondale for that crazy ass picture that he's using. Mondale is traveling right now, so shout out to Mondale for that crazy ass picture that he's using. That's a birthday gift in itself.
Marcus, act like that's me on your frozen ass cheap internet.
Yeah, you look like an exploding pineapple now. Hey, listen. Thanks to everybody for all of the birthday wishes today. Like, man, that really means a lot, dude. Like on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, you know, I mean, you guys made me feel good today. Especially after, you know, a kind of a turbulent couple of days there for a second, but it felt good. So thanks for the birthday wishes. Thanks for everybody who gave us super chat yesterday. I didn't thank y'all, but thanks for the super chats yesterday. Thanks for the birthday shout outs yesterday from everybody. So, you know, it is what it is. We are all the way live. Mondale is en route traveling right now, as I said before. And let me just say real quick, Mondale, are you here?
Oh yeah, baby, keep going.
Yeah, let me just say this real quick, man. Shout out to me. That's right. Shout out to Marcus Farrell. I was gonna be myself and I'm gonna give myself props real quick, because just in case y'all don't know me, I'm gonna introduce myself on my birthday. I'm gonna take my birthday privilege today. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. If you don't know, I went to Rickards High School. I went to Florida A&M. I went to school on Florida State's campus. And my mother was born to a sharecropper by the name of Rosie Bobo. My mom's Rosetta Bobo, and I know she's happy that we started on time. So thanks, Mom. And she's Black girl science. Dr. Bobo is Black girl science, and Rosie Bobo was definitely Black girl hard work, being a sharecropper, right? A couple of generations away from slavery. I went to the United States military. I served in the military for 5.5 years. I got out of the military and I became a rapper. I was also a security guard and I became a rapper. I was a security guard at the Florida Supreme Court. And I was rapping for years, trying to make it. And I got a couple of flows on me right now, right? And then literally, I started volunteering and ended up working in politics. And, I've won some elections. I've lost some elections. I've played some major roles. We got the first Black mayor of Jacksonville, Florida elected. I was Bernie Sanders' National African American Outreach Director in 2016. I was, believe it or not, I was draft Joe Biden's political director before Bernie picked me up. So I think that was the turning point whether I was going to go neoliberal or go progressive, and I ended up working for Bernie.
You were a candidate too, bro.
and I was a candidate. I was a candidate for state house in LD 24 in Arizona. And and I was the chief of staff of New Georgia Project and Stacey Abrams' deputy campaign manager. And I've done, and I also was a senior advisor at Swing Left. So I've done, a lot of work in my past, and that's who I am. So for this moment, my Black History moment, my Marcus moment, I just want to tell y'all who I am. And show y'all the background that I have, because I don't show up to this, and the reason I dropped the resume and dropped my background, because I don't show up to this new. We're going to try to bring you the best quality content that we possibly can in the most clickbaity way possible, right? So, that's Marcus. Throw some freaking acorns up for Marcus right now. If you love me, if you appreciate me, and I appreciate you, I appreciate each member of the Trap Squad for rocking with us through good times, bad times, whatever time, any time of the day. I appreciate you. And for my birthday, I was thinking about going and getting lit early, forget showing up, but I said, nah. We gotta go and do this show tonight. I want to do for my birthday. This is actually a birthday gift to me right now, hanging out with you guys. We're gonna get into some politics, but February 10th, and our show's gonna end a little earlier today. But on February 10th today, I wanted to make sure that I came and I saw the people my newest friends. I'm hanging out with one of my best friends, and we're talking with some of our newest friends. So thanks for all the birthday love. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Thanks for the Trap Squad. Thanks for all the support that y'all shown us as we grow and we continue to grow. And shout out, listen, we've only our little Facebook page, our little YouTube page only got started last month, and we've already crossed 3,000 people that are subscribed to our page. Let's try to get that to 10 soon. So Mondale, how you doing, man? Thanks for giving me that space to do that.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, a Black across the 25-year-old, you already retirement age. So I gotta respect elders. You know what I'm saying? This country makes it hard for us to live too long. So the fact that you are of able body and mind, and we're celebrating your trip around the moon tonight. So absolutely, man. I'm sitting back riding I'm co-driving right now. So it's my job to make sure the tunes on the radio are good. It's your drive to make sure we get where we're going. So, man, I'm excited to be here, and happy motherfucking birthday, my fam.
Yeah, man. And I want to also give a shout out to Dwayne Golden, again, our producer.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dwayne.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Dwayne. I want to give a shout out to our ghost producer, also, Tam, wherever you are right now, sis. I'm gonna give you a shout out also, and to everybody who's made like this show possible. And I want people to go back and watch our first shows, because a lot of people, ever since this new transition, a lot of people are thinking to ourselves. Thank you, Ursula. A lot of people are thinking to themselves, Mondale and Marcus, they're doing the show solo, and it's like y'all don't even understand this. This is how we got started. Our first episodes were started off of me and Mondale, hyper unprofessional. We've gotten a lot better. Mondale, matter of fact, I meant to tell you, I went back and watched some of our first shows. We've gotten way better than we were back then. We were still good, but we've gotten way better when it comes down to delivering things. And we don't argue with it much.
Marcus, but we also remember we used to give them 3 hours, 4 hours a night, bro. We just get up here and just go. Go.
Yeah, it was.
Your mom, like, listen, you gotta leave people wanting more. It was like, but there is more.
We can do it all.
There is more.
We can solve it all right now. Right now. And I'm gonna tell you something. We do show up to this show trying to save Earth every single time, and I think that's where you guys. Indeed. I think that's where you guys see our passion from, right? Our drive, right? I think what makes clickbaity in its essence, clickbaity as a record label and a crew. And if you ain't down with clickbaity, F you too.
Bump you too.
Yeah.
Listen,
no, but what makes
Marcus, us. Speaking of the Thirst Trap and clickbaity as a crew, man, I gotta say something to y'all. Y'all might clown us in the chat. Y'all might laugh at us or get frustrated with us. But the messages, the inbox messages today were unbelievable. You guys are an unbelievable crowd. Okaretta, the fact that you sat down and wrote that long message, powerful, no words were just repeated or wasted. Every word meant something. Those inbox messages, all of y'all, so many. And I don't want to start names because then I may forget an important message from somebody. And I don't want nobody to feel us any type of way. I definitely thank all of y'all. And we heard y'all. We listened to y'all loud and clear. And we promise we're not going anywhere. This is, believe it or not, this is Clickbaity almost 1 year mark. And also full circle. It's Marcus and Mundell again. And and while some of you all joined this show on YouTube, we initially started on Facebook a long time ago. So when you first found us on YouTube, it was not our first show. It was not our first iteration. It was what you saw us as. But this is our natural context. And I hope you all continue to rock with us. We are here. We're here to continue to bring politics from a black man's perspective. It's in the name. If you go to Facebook, there's a long definition for political thirst trap and also clickbaity. Marcus and I created those definitions, and it absolutely explains who we are and how we show up in the world. So while we goof off a whole lot, we still give you more than what the fuck MSNBC, CNN, Ricky Smiley or Steve Harvey's ever gonna give you in their time on TV or radio. So ride with us. And me and Marcus, for a minute there, we thought about taking the super highway to get there real fast. And there is to a lot more people watching us. But we realized that our roots was never about the highway. Our roots were about taking the scenic route and bringing a lot of people along with us on Route 66 across this motherfucking country. So get dusty with us and watch you learn something every night.
Yeah, I kind of like Ricky Smiley though. You know what you made me think of? You know what you made me think
Where
of?
the money reside? Where the money reside?
Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Listen, you made me think of this right here. You are now watching that's black man.
He said that's so Mary. That's so Mary had a little lamb.
Yo, that was pretty. Mary had a little lamb. There's a whole new Tam. I see you, Tam. No, you're actually now you are watching the American Negro in his natural habitat.
Right,
that's what you're doing. If you look closely and you study his movements, he gets very angry and upset. He might beat his chest. He might talk shit, but he will whoop your motherfucking ass if you fuck with their families. Thanks for watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, man. Today was the second day of the impeachment trials.
Oh my God.
And I mean, to be quite honest with you,
textbook, Marcus. Marcus, textbook.
It was just a beautiful execution of legalese, and you got to see some of the people who I thought a lot of people were gutless. I thought a lot of our elected officials didn't have it in them to actually stand up against something. And I was proven wrong. Now, I hope they keep the same energy when it comes down to dealing with policies that affect us. Because this is not to go against the whole spirit of it, because we need to make sure that Donald Trump gets impeached. But it's easy to fight against Donald Trump. That's the easiest fight to fight. But that's just one moment in a whole 24-hour day where elected officials are still writing policies, passing policies. Congress has not stopped yet. Joe Biden's first 100 days is not over yet. And I want everybody to keep a keen sense as you watch the drama unfolds, and it's good television. I mean, it's amazing television to watch, but as the drama unfolds, I want to make sure that you guys remember that there's still people who they just knocked down $15 an hour minimum wage. There's still people who are suffering from COVID right now. And to all the people that have suffered from COVID, recovered from COVID, have family members that died from COVID, you know that there needs to be something that's done about one of the most serious things that ever happened to Americans in our history, right? So
there's still hungry people in this country. There's still poverty is still a fucking in this country. There are tons of things we need to be pushing the Democrats for. What I saw today, and what I think you were alluding to this, Marcus, like the idea that these motherfuckers can be so well versed in arguing their point of view makes me believe that they've never thought about poverty. They've never thought about fighting for poverty, because the way they laid out these arguments today were so meticulous, so well placed, and they were able to tie into shit. And if you can't tie into CEOs making $2 million and $3 million to poverty, then you ain't considered it after I saw how masterful these people were. So I want to see the same energy and this same level of fighting applied to all types of humanity issues that are facing people on a daily basis in this country. What I saw today was masterful legal work, and that same shit can be applied to the floor when you don't need 67% or 67 senators' signatures to pass a bill, when you only need a simple majority. I want you to do the same fucking work to push for progressive policies, including reparations. Like, we ain't finished yet. Matter of fact, Rep 1. I need everybody to go on social media and just put Rep 1 and just say reparations right now. I want to give a shout out to Shantae. You don't see the screen on there. Shantae just said, I rock with y'all. Y'all want something from the store? And she gave us $5. I want a Black and Mild. I want a Reese's bar. I want a Black and Mild. I want a Reese's bar. And I want one of them. And see if it is the kind of store that got Wild Irish Rose. Tonight's a Wild Irish Rose night. Let me get a 40-ounce St. Ives Cricket Eyes.
Y'all, you remember those commercials?
They were so fucking dope. They were so dope.
Commercials with Snoop and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought about when she was up for the stove.
Yeah. Listen, I do a St. Ives night. I remember when I turned 21, I knew exactly how much it would take me to get drunk, and I knew exactly what it would take. I needed a 40 of Old English, one St. Ives, and a can of beer, and that was it. I was lit. It was perfect.
That's about $9. It's about $9 over a drink.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you add the cannabis product, but I mean, listen, back in the day, they had 5 sacks. They used to have. I had a dude that sold 5 sacks, nickel sacks of green, half a blunt. That's
they still sell those in there. If you go deep enough in the hood, Marcus, you live in the gentrified part of the town.
I live in the gentrified.
You still can get a nickel bag, and if the dude likes you enough, he'll get it to you for $4.
That's right. Now, but hey, Mondale, I am looking for a house in the hood, though. I'm looking for a house in the hood. I actually saw one that I want, and I'm thinking about going and copping it. You know what I'm talking about? You think Trump's gonna get Monday? You think Trump's gonna get impeached, man? I don't think it's gonna happen.
0% he's gonna be convicted, Marcus. 0%. But here's what's gonna happen, though. All of this evidence, actually, already, like the way that they're using his words, the witness, they don't need to call witness. What's happening right now? Donald Trump is being convicted in a different space, bro. He's being convicted on TV over and over again. And Trump being convicted don't really mean shit to Donald Trump. But people that support him being convicted will lead to something completely different. After this trial, people will see it, and then people going out trying to defend Donald Trump will get cursed out by white people. They'll get smacked in the fucking face with skateboards. Proverbially and literally.
Right.
It's going to become a thing. White supremacists will be looked at like they're fucking aliens. No disrespect to our alien natives. our neighbors.
You see the Viking Horns guy said I was completely wrong. The Viking Horn organic food guy said that I was completely wrong for barging in the Capitol. And I only
I was duped by Trump.
I was duped by Donald Trump. I mean, listen, okay.
He ain't the only one. Did you see this other cat from I forgot. He's been charged with some serious charges. And his lawyer's making a case now that, but for Donald Trump, his client wouldn't have been there. But for Donald Trump, I mean, like we saw some of the evidence today where they were on bullhorns reading out Donald Trump quotes about Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what he needed to do. So people started saying, hey, Mike Pence, right after that. The dude is on a bullhorn, literally reading verbatim Donald Trump's tweet about Pence not having the courage to protect our country.
Your signal's breaking up.
Yeah, man. So I think, I'm sorry, brother. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Got me sound like a fucking Verizon commercial. Got me sound like a Verizon commercial. I was saying that
tapping into the matrix. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was simply saying that Donald Trump had people on the bullhorn as they were approaching the Capitol reading his tweets about Mike Pence. So Donald Trump conviction means nothing to me. Donald Trump's what's gonna happen though is the conviction of Donald Trumpism will mean something long beyond this, and it's gonna require a lot more from Biden's administration as it pertains to racism in this country, and also how we fight for equity. Speaking of fighting for equity, my friend.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of fighting for equity, go ahead.
A fan of the show, Adrian Fontes. He's the former Maricopa County recorder. He lost his election, but I mean, and that's interesting. He lost his election, but Biden won the state. And that's Maricopa County. That's a pretty blue county. But what he says is, he says something interesting. He said racism is a culture. And he doesn't necessarily believe that government alone can change racism. And I had to, I had to push back on him. I had to push back. I think if the government got us into this racist institution, then the government should be able to get us completely out.
Wow, say that. And I think when you say government, we need to talk about like how the government got us here. The government didn't get us here for the betterment of all white people. The government got us in this racist shit after Bacon's Rebellion. That's when poor white people and poor black people was like, man, fuck y'all for exploiting what my contract said as it pertains to how long you could keep me as an indentured servant and the conditions in which you kept me, right? So they pinned together in Jamestown about to overthrow the elite. So the government, along with the elite, said, yeah, we ain't gonna never have that happen again. We're gonna start calling people white and black. And white people will have rights that black people will not. White people were, at that point, white people got the right to own guns. White people got the right to never be made indentured servant for life. White people got the right to marry. And white people, poor white people then began to believe that they were higher as indentured servants than black people who could never have the protection of owning a gun or being able to marry or being able not to say that you can't be made an indentured servant, said another way, a slave for life. And that was the changing. That was the changing of how we fought and what solidarity meant between poor folk. Forever.
Yeah, man. It's completely the government's responsibility to end racism.
Absolutely.
And end it aggressively. You know what? Just like we're trying to end COVID-19, we need, just like we have a government that has a plan to end COVID-19, we need the same kind of plan to end racism. And it's not enough. It is not enough to be not a racist. You have to actively be anti-racist.
Absolutely.
I don't agree with smacking people in the face with a skateboard, but homie who smacked Buddy in the face with the skateboard the other day, he's actively anti-racist.
I mean, and we had to, Marcus, and we got to be honest. I mean, like, he literally told him, "Don't say it again." Like, you, that motherfucker that said nigga, as a white boy, you should be charged with a hate crime, because what we don't know is the person holding the camera could have been black. And that's a hate. You're inciting violence, walking around calling people nigga. I have a brother that is in prison, was sentenced for 17 years for shooting 2 white boys for spitting on him and calling him nigga. Neither one of those white boys died, but he got 17 years.
I go to this.
17 years old.
I empathize with that. And what it makes me think of is, well, what are the tactics that you would have to use to effectively end racism from a policy standpoint? What are the active tactics? And I got a couple here. I'm throwing out some fastballs. You know, if a knuckleball comes in there, y'all got excuse me, sports ball analogy. What I'm thinking is, we need to, first off, anti-racist policy is aggressively trying to end the filibuster, right? That's anti-racist policy. Anti-racist policy is aggressively trying to expand the Supreme Court and then put a whole bunch of black people on it. Anti-racist policy is creating a constitutional amendment that makes it extremely hard to do any type of voter suppression in America. Anti-racist policy is a department that's set up in the government literally to make sure that corporate America and nonprofit America and anything that's doing business transaction, anything that is tied to it that can be deemed racist is illegal. And also, you know, arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. Like we need to do something about police reform, right? Like anti-racist policy that actually is going to change America has to happen. And Biden has to be as aggressive about it as he is about this COVID vaccine. Because here's the thing. Have you ever gone to the Capitol? Trap Squad, have you ever gone to the Capitol back when it was a field trip, or you might have actually going to be seeing a congressperson? Have you ever gone to the Capitol? When you walk in the Capitol, the feeling you have is, I don't need to act up in here. That's the feeling.
Right. Even before you get there, it's over. The entire Capitol complex, right? All of it. The office buildings behind the Capitol, all of that shit got some kind of like, I just need to mind my shit right now.
Right. Like the feeling when you sitting in the back seat growing up and the last time you asked your mother, are we there yet? She turned around and popped you in the mouth. So you're probably not going to ask, are you there yet again? That's the feeling.
It's that, Marcus. Marcus, is that feeling you get in the grocery store when your mama said you better ask for shit and you fuck around and ask for something?
That's right. That's it. That's it. Or so when you walk in the Capitol, it's not a place where you're like, I'm going to go and smash a glass in the Capitol, right? So here's what I'm saying. You got to be a special type of stupid to go into the Capitol and act up. Follow me. Racists are fundamentally stupid. They are fundamentally idiots. If you operate off of, I don't like this person or this policy because it might help somebody who doesn't look like my skin tone, you are a stupid fuck. Point blank. And you're stupid enough to take your dumb ass to the Capitol building and smash stuff and kill police officers. And
hold on, Marcus. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just gotta say something. This is bullshit. So Ben Dixon decided to have Ask Me Anything right now while we're on live on his Patreon. When he had a chance to say something about this shit on his morning show, he said he had nothing to say. So he goes over there and say the reason he was taking the morning trap was because he was spending $16,000 a month. First of all, asshole, you're lying like shit. The morning trap didn't cost you $16,000 a month. And then he go tell us he was spending $16,000 a month because we didn't have no dime. Bitch, I'm a millionaire. Stop fucking playing. Stop playing. Don't lie. Don't fucking lie. Don't lie, bro. Don't do that. You are not spending $16,000 a month on the morning trap, fam. That's whack. You are whack for that. Release the video. Release the video of us talking to your lawyer and let everybody see what happened. And for everybody that needs to know anything, Ben Dixon Company just launched in December. The Morning Trap is older than his company. And it was on Clickbaity for free. It doesn't cost anything to stream to YouTube. Don't play me, bro. Don't do that. You whack for that.
Plus, we offered to pay for anything and everything.
And everything. And everything. And then we don't even need to get into the trickery of never streaming.
But Mondale, you know what though? Dude, let's just move on. That's my opinion. Let's just fucking move on. Because to keep it a buck, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, we've been doing this for a year. Other people have been doing their shows for however long they're doing it. I'm not wasting my time on something that's not productive anymore. Right? I said my piece. I knew what needed to be done to fix it. The fix didn't happen. We are here where we are right now. Right? All I know is that me and Mondale, we work with complete honesty. We were complete stand-up. We were stand-up black men when it comes down to all of our dealings.
The guy said we came into the meeting with his lawyer. Motherfucker heard this. Motherfucker heard that. Neither one of us said motherfucker one time on the call with his lawyer. Release the video, bro. All you got to do is release the video. You recorded it. We saw it recording. Y'all released the video. Nobody cursed at your lawyer. Marcus, I'm not going to sit here and let that shit fly. Dude has no scruples.
Her lawyer.
He said he's on. Yo, I have somebody on the call right now. He's on a Zoom. That lawyer cussed us out, bro, and started talking shit about how dumb anybody that believed the contract said this, and this, and she didn't even know they changed the contract and didn't send her the copy that they made additions to. Now, who the fuck runs a company where you got a company lawyer who writes a contract, who drafts a contract, and then you go back and make edits to that contract and don't send it to them, but send it to us and tell us to sign it? But that's shiesty. And now you're over there saying that we cussed out your lawyer. All you got to do is release the video. The video is a thing.
How about this? I'm willing to keep his name out of my mouth. I'm willing to keep it as long as he keeps my name, and don't lie on me. We weren't disrespectful. Don't lie on me, fam. Yeah, don't lie on me. We weren't disrespectful.
Don't lie.
We absolutely weren't. And I mean, if we could have a conversation about women, but that's a conversation that we don't need to have because that means we put out everybody's business. Man, let's not go there. I suggest everybody leave it alone because, to be honest with you, shit can get real dangerous real quick, real fast. And I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about, like, information. Information. Hey, Dwayne, let's go to break. Let me calm down before I say something crazy. Hey, play that song, though.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, Clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah, we here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent Clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, ThirstTrap. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, ThirstTrap.
Two fools who laugh at death. Do you know what horrors lie beyond that wall?
No.
Then you go first.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a track by our trap squad, fellow trap squad member, Dust Lord. Dust Lord. What was the name of the album again, Dwayne? Four Tales of the Strange. Y'all go check out your fellow trap squad member, Dust Lord. Four Tales of the Strange. He was the guy who said, thanks for giving the musicians a shout out the other night. So, shout out, and support artists, support local music. And thanks for letting us play your music. If you are an artist on this that watches the Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, man, and you want to come and you want to, rock and roll with us, then feel free to, right? And make sure you send us your music or a link to your music, and make sure you send a link to the music, and we'll try to play your music as much as possible. We're not gonna play music all day, but I will give props where props are due. Let's get back to the news and ignore the nonsense. Because to be honest with you, like my mentality is very simple, right? If you lie on me, if you do something, karma is a bitch. If you lie on my name and you put out falsehoods about me, then it's going to come back to you, no matter who you are. So I've operated with the utmost integrity. I've hired more Black women than most people could even think about when it comes down to politics. I make it a point to check in with my sisters and brothers. So there's no reason for me to I don't even want to go there. Well, what I do want you to bring up real quick is, Dwayne, hold on one second, my brother. Let me make sure that I got it. Could you bring up the Derek Chauvin, the guard, security guard, Chauvin?
The superintendent, Steve Leiden, issued an order to his correctional officers. And that order segregated the correctional officers of color from their white counterparts and imposed a restriction that any officers of color were not allowed to interact with, guard, or even be on the same floor as Officer Chauvin. And our clients filed their lawsuit this morning to seek to hold Superintendent Leiden, Sheriff Fletcher, and Ramsey County responsible for the discrimination that occurred under their watch. The discrimination of judging people based upon the color of their skin and their race, and not, as Dr. King said, by the content of their character.
Minority corrections officers alleged they were barred from guarding Derek Chauvin, who is accused of George Floyd's death. Listen, here is, well, first off, That's racist. Let's just say that. God, it's like everything falls back to racism, but that's racist. But, you know, if you are afraid, if you are scared enough to know that black people are pissed off enough to actually hurt someone who killed on camera, mercilessly killed George Floyd. If you have that level of understanding that black people are mad, then what kind of policies can you make to make sure that black people don't get killed again? My question is very simple. If you think we're going to hurt that guy and not let him see justice, what's the point of him being in jail? See, they'll lock us up and throw away the key for years. They'll lock us up and throw away the key for years and years and years. And then we come out. They don't give these jail systems any kind of resources. You can't vote when you're in jail. The food is shitty, from what I understand. Literally, the healthcare system right now, COVID is spreading faster anywhere else. Faster than anywhere else in jails across America, in prisons across America, than in open spaces. They even are having riots about health care to prisoners. And Derek Chauvin can't get watched by a black guard. That's not justice. He's already reaping the benefits of white supremacy. So we have to start having realistic conversations. And to be honest with you, I think it's unprofessional to think that your counterparts, who are your fellow, I guess corrections officers, your fellow corrections officers are not responsible enough and just want to go in there and murder or hurt somebody. Justice means justice blindly, right? Derek Chauvin this motherfucker should not be getting any version of privilege whatsoever. He's in jail, right? Don't even change up the goddamn schedule. If Eric and Deshaun are on duty and it's their time to do the shift, then send them brothers right over there to do the shift. There's a bunch of bullshit. And when and as we think about like how justice systems work, I've never heard of a black man being allowed to say, yo, I don't want any white prison guards watching me. Yo, I want organic food. You got to move me from this place. I want organic food. It is absolutely preposterous that happens. But I mean, at some point we have to rock and roll and understand that white privilege is happening even in spaces where it's not supposed to happen. How do you have white privilege in a jail cell? You beat Derek Chauvin and you kill a black man, and cops obviously felt like he was justified in that prison system. So I got another one real quick for everyone. And if you could pop this one up for me real quick. Everybody's calling me. The Aunt Jemima. If you can bring that up for me. Okay. So the brand formerly known as Aunt Jemima reveals a new name, Pearl Milling Company. While the name on the box has changed, the great tasting products, the Pearl inside the familiar red box remains the same, with a mission to create joyful breakfast moments for everyone. Syrup creates joyful breakfast moments. I'm getting that. I'm getting there. I mean, yeah, here's my thing. Good. I'm happy they changed it. Get black people off of your stuff, right? It's that mammy bullshit. And black women aren't mammies. There are kings, our queens, our moms, our grandmas, our sisters, our co-workers, and deserve respect in every single thing that they do. So I actually don't have a problem with this one right here. Politically, I think that's a smart move, right? I mean, you know, if you got to change the Washington Redskins, like don't put a black person back in on Dwayne, let Mondale back in. Don't put a black person on the face of your product. That y'all do realize what that does. It perpetuates this notion of the black mammy cooking the white family dinner, and you know, oh, Miss Aunt Jemima, she just did everything for us. That bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit. So, yeah, we it's like Joe Cool, right? You remember Joe Cool? The
cigarette guy? The camel cigarette guy?
The cigarette camel.
Jay-Z cousin?
Yeah. It's kind of like Joe Cool, man. You know, don't try to pander. That's like pandering. Like, and I guess I'm gonna ask our White Trap Squad members this right here. Does it seem like when you see a black woman, do you get hungry? Trap Squad, answer that question for me. If you see Aunt Jemima on the label, do you get hungry? And does that remind you of days of old, where you used to, you know, lay on your granny's lap and she used to tell you stories? Get black people off of your shit. It's that simple. Stop using people of color to advertise your shit. You know, I even have a question with my favorite football team, Florida State Seminoles. They need to do something else too. I don't care if they have a partnership with the Seminoles. I think they need to do something else. Mondale, you back, brother?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm real back. Bro. And I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see y'all talking about Aunt Jemima and PepsiCo company who finally decided to take that black woman off the bottle and stop trying to tweak the picture so they can keep the black woman up there. She's been up there for 130 years almost, so it was time to take that ridiculous picture off that bottle. Did you see what they said, though? Like, we're going to give $1 million to black women and girls. And they were like, our company is committed to racial equality. Well, the problem is being committed to racial equality is still not enough. You need to be committed to racial equity. Equality is not enough. If you give me a bucket the same height as a white man's bucket so we both can see over the fence, it still doesn't matter because the bucket that he's been standing on is on top of so much shit that they've had advantage over for so long. So we're not looking for equality. We're looking for equity. Equity is something completely different than equality. PepsiCo and Quaker Oats, the company that they own, that owns this Aunt Jemima or whatever it's called now, I think Paper Mill or Pearl Milling Company or whatever.
Pearl Milling Company.
They fall short. One, they fall short in $1 million when you consider how much PepsiCo is worth and how much they've extracted from the black communities. And two, they fall short in talking about giving us racial equality and not fighting for equity. So all of that is tacky and also par for the course.
Hey, yo, her whole name was Aunt Jemima Buckwheats.
But look, hold on. If you look at the box, it stay on the box. Same great taste as Aunt Jemima's. It's still on the damn box.
Oh, yeah. So on the box, it says it's the same great taste as Aunt Jemima's. It's still on the box. So, like, keep her goddamn name out your mouth. Like, you know what? You really want to do something, don't change the label. Give me, how many years were they open, Mondale? How many years they've been operating? 120?
Since 1888, bro.
Okay. Give us that much of syrup reparations. Every black family gets a bottle of syrup a year from y'all for free. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, listen, we're gonna start asking for shit back. I would much rather some money, but no, you know, y'all want to do something? Don't give $1 million to just black women. Give a bottle of syrup to every black family. Let us walk into the Aunt Jemima store and get us a bottle of syrup and say, this is reparations. Fuck out of here. you like that idea, Mondale? Oh, Mondale's not on with me anymore.
Oh, I was muted. Marcus, I couldn't hear you. What was your idea?
Oh, yeah. My idea is simple. We should be able, black families should be able to walk into the Aunt Jemima store and get a bottle for free once a year. Once a year. I mean, I don't know. A bottle of syrup will stick around for me for like 3 months, man, 4 months. I don't know if it gets old, but I don't. It's not like I put syrup on everything. I don't think that shit is healthy. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah.
I don't care if syrup is one day old. I don't think syrup is healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, it don't matter how new or old that bottle is, it's still syrup. And but yeah, man, I think this is just a continuation of the craziness that is America. That they believe that they can sell us this idea that because they now seen the light, and that Black people shouldn't be mammified on bottles. No, because if you wouldn't have got that blowback, if you see the light, you don't see the light when I cut the light on. You know what I'm saying? You're not better because somebody call you out on something, then you fix it. When you're trying to change, you change.
Yeah. And equity is completely changing and doing more for society. Like get a Black CEO. How about that? Right? Come on, Pepsi, make them do their thing. Dwayne, I believe it's that time for Black history because I gotta go. That's what I'm talking about. Dwayne, I believe you got something special for Black history tonight.
Black people loving Black people.
Say it again.
Yo, we wild as shit, man.
It's February, it's very scary. Black people loving Black people. Black people loving Black people. Black people loving Black people. It's February, it's very scary. Black people.
Hope y'all like that. We are going into our Black history segment real quick, and I want to give a shout out. My person tonight for Black History Month is Louis Latimer. Louis Latimer is one of these lost figures in history, even though he shouldn't be one of these lost figures in history. Our dear brother Louis Latimer is the co-inventor of the light bulb. That's right. Y'all all thought it was Thomas Edison, but the guy who always gets forgotten is the Black American man that was sitting right next to him while he was doing his thing. And the awesome part about Louis, and I'm bringing up some information because I was reading through some of his works, but his patents were something that was amazing, right? But so let me Louis in 1874 he co-patented with Brown an improved toilet system for railroad cars called the water closet. And we've all heard of these water closets before. He worked for Alexander Graham Bell, and he was a primary draftsman for, guess what? The telephone, right? And also, one of the most famous things that he did was working with the Edison pioneers. Louis Latimer was the first person to join that group, and he did amazing work with the portable light bulb, right? He also invented how to accurately use the filament that actually turns on the light bulb. So he owns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 patents, right? Locking rack for hats, coats, and umbrellas. Early air conditioning unit and apparatuses for cooling and disinfecting. A supporter for electric lamps. Process of manufacturing carbons. The electric lamp itself, he's a patent person on. Improvement in water closet for railroad cars. He was employed by the United States Navy and served on the USS Marisoit. He had books. He was a teacher at the Henry Street Settlement. Our brother passed away. That brother passed away when he passed away. He passed away in December 11th, 1928. He was 80 years old when he passed away. So that's my moment with for Black History Month tonight was Louis Latimer. I'll give him a shout out real quick and throw them squirrels up for him. Mondale, who do you got?
Brother, I have the wonderful Fannie Lou Hamer. And rather than tell you about Fannie Lou Hamer, I want her to tell you about an incident So it's kind of long. It's 7 minutes and 46 seconds, but it's the reason I want to play 7 minutes and 46 seconds. So Dwayne, can you run that?
My home is in Rooseville, Mississippi. It's located in the Black Belt of Mississippi, known as the Delta area. I was forced away from the plantation because I wouldn't go back and withdraw, my literacy test after I had tried to take it. I wouldn't go back, and I had to leave, and my husband was forced to stay on this plantation until after the harvest season was over, and then the man that we had worked for, he'd taken the car, and most of the few things we had been stolen, and I'd been in jail, and I'd been beat. I had been to a voter registration workshop, they were just training and teaching us how to register, to pass the literacy test, and it was giving us enough training that we could tell other people, how to pass the literacy test. So we had attended a workshop from the 3rd of June to the 8th, and then we got the Continental Trailway bus to come back to Mississippi. And we got to Winona, Mississippi, I would say about 10:30 that Sunday morning on our way back to Greenwood. And we had got in 25 miles of the voter registration headquarters. And the bus stopped in Winona, at the bus terminal. And 4 people got off of the bus, to use the restaurant to get food. And 2 people got off, used the washroom while I was still on the bus. When I looked through the glass, I saw the people rush out. And one of the girls who had gone in the washroom, she just got back on the bus. And I stepped off to see what had happened. And Miss Punda told me that it was a state highway patrolman and a chief of police on the inside, and began to tap them on the shoulders with billy clubs and order them to get out. And I said, well, this is Mississippi. So I got back on the bus, and as soon as I was seated, I saw them when they began to put the 5 people, what was, off the bus, but they wasn't over 6 feet from the bus, began to put them in the highway patrolman's car. And I stepped off again because I was holding one of the ladies' irons, that they was arresting. And she said, get back on the bus, Miss Hamer. And then I heard somebody scream from the car that she was in and said, get that one there. And then a white man stepped out of a car and told me I was under arrest. And when he opened the door and I went to get in the car, he kicked me. And they carried me on down to the county jail where the other highway patrolman had carried the other 5. And they, when I walked in with the 2 white men that had carried me down, and they cursed me all the way down. They would ask me questions, and when I would try to answer, they would tell me to hush. And when I walked inside of the booking room, one of the policemen went over and jumped up on one of the Negroes' feet that was with us, and then they just began to, put us in cells. And I was put in a cell with Miss Yvesta Simpson, and after I was put in this cell, I could just hear some horrible screams and horrible sounds, of licks. And I saw one of the girls was 15 years old, was with us, and she passed my cell, and she was real bloody. And then they asked the little man that cleaned up the jail to go inside and mop up that blood. And then I heard some more screaming, and I heard some awful sounds. And I would hear somebody when they say, can't you say yes, sir, nigger? Can't you say yes, sir? And they would call her names that I wouldn't want to go on tape. And she said, yes, I can say yes, sir. So I said, and she said, I don't know you well enough. And I would hear when she would hit the floor again. And finally she began to pray, and she asked God to have mercy on these people because they didn't know what they was doing. And after a while they passed my cell door with this young woman, Miss Annelle Punda, and one of her eyes looked like blood, and her hair was standing up on her head, and her clothes had been torn from the shoulder down to the waist. And then 3 white men came to my cell, and one of them was a state highway patrolman because he was wearing a little silver plate across his pocket that said John L. Bassinger. And he asked me where I was from, and I told him I was from Roosevelt. And he said, I'm going to check that. And he went out, and I guess he called Ruval, and they didn't like me in Ruval because I worked with voter registration there. And when he came back, he said, "You damn right." They said, "You're from Ruval, all right, and we gonna make you wish you was dead." And they led me out of that cell into another cell, and he gave a Negro prisoner a blackjack, and he ordered me to lay down on a bunk bed. And a Negro prisoner said, "Do you want me to beat her with this, sir?" And he said, "You're damn right, because if you don't, you know what I'll do for you." And I laid down on the bunk like he ordered me to do. And the first Negro beat me. He beat me until he was exhausted. And after he beat, the state highway patrolman ordered the second Negro to take the blackjack. And during the time he was beating, I began to work my feet because that was a horrible experience. And the state highway patrolman ordered the first Negro that had beat to sit on my feet while the second one beat. And I just began to scream where I couldn't control it. And then the white man got up and began to beat me in my head. I have a blood clot now in the artery to the left eye and a permanent kidney injury on the right side from that beating. These are the things that we go through in the state of Mississippi, just trying to be treated like a human being. But still, this is called a part of America. The Justice Department brought a suit against these 5 law officials from Mississippi. And they had their trial in Oxford. And they had every evidence in the world, if it ever was going to be any people convicted. Because we had flew to Washington, D.C., and had the pictures made, and they have the pictures today of what happened to us in that jail. The bus driver, they even had the waitresses from Winona at the bus terminal that said we hadn't done anything. We hadn't done no demonstration. The Negroes that they forced to beat me, they came and they told the truth. They told how these white men had made them drink corn whiskey before they did beat us because they figured, you know, if they didn't have something in them, that they might not do it. They told all of that, and nothing have been done. Those same men, I guess, are still wearing their guns. They are very powerful in the state of Mississippi. But some of the people, I think, is beginning to get where now they just don't care. They are beginning to see if they try to do anything for themselves.
Those same men are still wearing their guns. You just watched 7 minutes and 46 seconds from many, many decades ago of Fannie Lou Hamer not only telling her efforts and her strides to get Black people registered to vote and participate in the democracy, but what you actually heard was a critique of America, of when you saw when white privilege ends. White privilege ends when you use it to benefit Black people and try to get Black people as full citizens in democracy. You also saw the critique of how policing is problematic. This is not new. It's not new. Her talking about people allowing them folks to be arrested for doing nothing other than registering people to vote, and then being beaten, Black and white being beaten by cops only because they was registering people to vote, and them using other Black people to beat her after they intoxicated them. All of this is indicative of what's going on right now. And her critique of the justice system that allowed those cops to remain cops is applicable right now. And the reason I said watch 7 minutes and 46 fucking seconds, because that's how long the cop kept his knee on George Floyd's fucking neck. And we found out yesterday, late last night, that fucking cop was even protected from other Black cops. The cop that choked George Floyd to death with his knee was ordered by the chief or the head of a fucking jail that no detention officers of color, not Black or brown, could be even on the same fucking floor as the white officer. He had to have protection by an all-white fucking detail. So even after you kill Black people, that metal badge still awards you protection by the whitest of white fucking stock. Fannie Lou Hamer was screaming about the same thing that George Floyd was screaming about. The inability to breathe and be fucking human. It's clickbaity, y'all.
Thank you all for watching another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. We're gonna rock and roll with you guys again tomorrow night. That was just I think that was an amazing segment, and hearing Sister Lou Hamer say what Fannie Lou Hamer say that was just, you know, real pain. You know, you could hear it in voices. You can hear it in her voice. And that's what we're trying to do: speak out and give and speak truth to power and give voice to the voiceless folks. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Dwayne, roll us out.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, thirst trap. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it.